Okay, chat. Another historic Brawl deck to start the day. We got Lukka, Coppercoat, Outcast. We're primarily using Lukka in this deck for his -2 ability. Exile a creature you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library so you get a creature with higher mana value and put that card onto the battlefield. So our deck is primarily a bunch of token makers, things like Forbidden Friendship, Krenko Command, Dragon Fodder, and some other things like that. And then we have a very small number of creatures. I think it's like 10. Yeah, we have 10 creatures at the top end of our curve. There are some 5-mana dragons and some much bigger things. The basic idea is put some tokens into play and then Lukka to floop them into something bigger. That being said, I'm noticing now that the person that I got this list from was missing a number of token cards. So I'm just going to run through and double check and make sure I'm not missing any other token producers. Let's filter this for instants and sorceries. Outburst. You see a pair of goblins. That's probably, I think these ones at 4 mana are probably a little bit too much. All right, let's do it. Well, thanks for being here, Hydroden. I know I am one of the dozens that has Prime as well. Praise be to the Amazon. I set a monthly calendar reminder to make sure I take my $3 from Jeff Bezos and give it to someone. Lord knows he has enough dollar dues. Thanks for the Prime, Moonlight. Welcome back. Can Field of the Dead be reasonable in a single color? Nah, I don't think so. Like, even if I split my snowlands and not snowlands, like, I'd still have, like, 11 of each. People asking, are we done with spoilers yet for the new set? We are not. I believe we get the last of them today, and if that's the case, we'll do a card review tomorrow that'll end up on YouTube in its own video. Thanks, Hydroden. And remember, if my live schedule doesn't line up with your current viewing schedule too, you could always drop the Prime sub off even when I'm offline. Appreciate all the folks that watch stuff on YouTube that take the time to do that. You can just pull up my Twitch page at any time, even if I'm not currently streaming. Hit the Prime button. This card is 40 tickets on Moto. Yeah, so the Moto economy, like, boomers complain about the arena economy a lot, but like the Moto economy is like fundamentally broken, and the only reason it's ever been close to functional is because of all of the various bot chains that make it possible, right? Things like MTGO traders. Yeah, tickets roughly $1, so it's $40. Godlike Uno, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. Wow, chat, they took my friends for themselves. I think that's fine, though. We got a counterspell out of them. So, the Moto economy has always been kind of broken, and with more and more people moving to Magic Arena for drafting, the supply of standard cards on Moto is at an all-time low. So anytime there is a new standard card that sees play in Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy, it gets insane expensive. This card sees a ton of non-rotating format play. Yeah, no joke. I've often made that comment, Hydroden. Like, Moto is like the original cryptocurrency. Lot of the same nonsense. These are my friends. They are my goblins.
Coppercoats won't listen to me, but I will punish their mistake.
Oh, you know what? I hate Twitch. Alright, overlay should be up. Refresh if you don't have it. There's a Twitch bug where the untapped extension refuses to auto-load itself. Nothing's getting released today. Alchemy releases on Thursday. I actually think the current historic format is pretty reasonable for the Enigmatic Yorion deck, Damwing. That deck could always grind against the food deck kind of okay, and the counterspell-based control decks that give it a hard time are at an all-time low. The 5-color Niv's the most popular control deck, and that doesn't play a lot of counterspells. That's true. That's true. It could actually be Friday if the servers are unplayable on Thursday. If I have Magic Arena largely at my schedule for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, and I'm expecting... I'm going to be honest with you, I put Thursday and Friday on the schedule, or Saturday, Sunday on the schedule, because I'm expecting Arena to be down Thursday and or Friday, potentially. Low expectations. We're going to mulligan here. They're playing Liliana Dreadhorde General, which is probably more controlling, so my removal's not great, and I don't have any cheap token makers. It seems really sweet, Hutch. Welcome back. As someone who's championed digital card games for a while and is a longtime Magic fan for multiple decades, like, I've wanted something like Alchemy for a really long time, and I'm excited we're finally getting it for Magic. Thanks for sticking on, Gout. And Zer, thanks for there for 2.5 years. Welcome back. Do we know if Historic will work the same? I would bet significant amounts of money that in the next year or 2 years at most, probably the next year, I bet, that we'll see every card on the Historic ban list nerfed and unbanned. It does not make... So, Logan, you'll note that the Hoaglandia Open for the Alchemy format release is not the weekend of the release, but it's the weekend after. And the reason why I'm putting it an extra week out this time is because I don't trust that this patch isn't going to be a fucking disaster because they're adding such a big thing. So normally I like to have opens. All right, this person's just taking forever. I'm going to concede. Normally I like to have my opens like right on release weekend because that's when it's most exciting. But I think for the sake of not having to cancel and reschedule, we're pushing it. We're pushing it back. That's the nice thing about Brawl, chat. When your opponent's just like taking forever or AFK, you just concede and it really doesn't matter. Move on to the next one. Leyline of the Void. That's cute. Arctic doesn't care about the graveyard though, so it doesn't really matter for us. These two are kind of great together, huh? Like this lets her drain and then improvises bodies. Oh, I should have Tormenting Voice before playing my land, huh? Could have played the stepped. I think we're gonna Iron Crag into Chandra next turn. It's actually kind of terrifying. Oh wait, chat, this is not a combo, chat. This is not a combo. Wait, what? Is this bugged? Oh, tokens technically still die. God, that's such a shitty templating. This says if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from exile, but this is technically not a Magic the Gathering card, chat. It is a token. So the token still, no, chat, the ley line, I'm aware, like, stop and actually pay attention. The ley line triggered when my token died. Because a token is not a Magic card, so the token technically still went to my graveyard and then was exiled. Yeah, stuff, interactions like that feel like a kind of broken oversight. So I'm really glad. Honestly, and it's such a simple thing too. But one of the things. So like someone said, Perpetually is gonna make that even weirder. No, Conjure's not actually. Conjure is gonna make it more consistent. In fact, the thing I was about to say was the thing I love about digital designs is actually something really simple, which is that instead of having random tokens everywhere that get treated differently than cards, we just get to have this conjure mechanic where created things are treated the same as cards. Have a good one, Hydra Den. Hope your daughter feels better. Hey, you look at distraction.
I was bored anyway.
We draw another land next turn. Read. We just Chandra kill Rankle.
It's my turn. See ya.
The fact that the mono black deck had like their only haste threat as a follow-up to our 6-mana Chandra is really brutal. No, token, that's what we were talking about, Dwight. Tokens go to the graveyard still. This says if a card would be put into the graveyard, and tokens are not cards. Yeah, it's different than Rest in Peace, right? It's a good draw.
That is a soldier's duty.
And they got a couple of shots at removal spells here, though. All right, we take those. Any token producers a good draw here? So, Historic is getting rebalanced cards. All the digital-only formats will get rebalanced cards, Scrubbish, but they are not rebalancing banned Historic cards to start. Oh, chat. We only have 8 mana. Big sad. Big sad. Yeah, Black Sheep. Designers did a good job. Historic, all of the rebalanced cards will be the historic versions. All of Magic's digital only formats will have the same balancing cards in them. So any updates for Alchemy aren't just Alchemy there. This is the digital version of this card. We need to get in a hit or two. This can't exile artifacts, fam. It is not Indomitable Creativity. Exile a creature I should have played.
I have enhanced my tactics.
If untapped, we'll be able to tell the difference on the back end. Yeah, it'll be identified as a different card, just like everything else I'm not. What cards do you think are playable with a small bump in power level? Lots of things. Oh, wait. Huh. I just assumed this was until end of turn, like every other one. I can just cast this as long as I have a Lukka Planeswalker?
He fires without me.
That's busted.
Oh, they're so cute.
Get rid of their arena here. I'm gonna level with you, chat. I didn't realize that was an option. Didn't I cycle the land? Yeah, I don't know about that. We're gonna draw lands eventually.
Don't worry.
I can also just like make treasure with the treasure vault. And if they kill Lukka here, I get to recast him and find another thing next turn. And if they don't kill him, I get to Ulamog them. So kind of rock versus hard place for the opponent. Huh. So, with this draw, yeah, we actually kill this and then exile 2 lands to keep them from recasting. Because I basically just need to not get drained out, right? In Cube Draft, should have balance cards from Alchemy or baseline cards? I don't know. I don't care. I don't think it really matters. You have a sword, you have a training sword. Hit the practice dummy to prepare for when you need to defend the realm. It's the half a year, Crumbish. No tokens here. It's an O2. Killing this right away seems important, though. If we used to do that, maybe we keep this. We have Pyre into Sarkhan. Alchemy Waiting Room is the name of my hipster indie band, and we write songs about D&D lore. God bless. Don't have a flash creature? Well, that's actually kind of terrifying. We might need to save Transmogrify to get rid of that, actually. Alchemy releases on Thursday. 2 more days. Okay, that's not a snowland. It's good for us. Makes the Merit Leech slumber slower. Kill it with fire. Hopefully they counterspell this so we can resolve Sarkhan and kill it with that. Oh, look at that. Someone added the release date to the alchemy command. Good job, mods. Checking out some options here. He didn't pierce me, that's nice.
The dragon's will is in thought in your head. Feel the heat
Look at my dragons, chat.
magnificent.
Have a good one, Cody.
Bathe in dragon fire.
Hey, look, chat, it's basically my children. I didn't want to pull the trigger on the Transmogrify there, because it's important that I have this to deal with the Merit Leech. There's a good chance we don't end the game before this happens.
Dissenters are welcome to debate me in battle.
Debate me, bro. Debate me. Make my Dargans cheaper.
The masters of the sky.
We're just gonna chill. Hey, I'm supposed to attack for 2 there. We've killed a goblin. Is Brainstorm playable at 2 mana or at draw 2 cards, put 1 back? Do you think either of those two things are true?
All dragons are welcome by my side.
12, 18, 20. Not quite lethal. Crunch, crunch. Look at my purple dragon shit. You did. And I think questions like that are kind of fucking rude, Logan, for what it's worth. Because people who ask questions like, are they testing or not, they're not really engaging in good faith. And even if they told you they were testing things, you'd just call them liars to begin with. The idea that Wizards of the Coast doesn't test things is so nonsensical. Yeah, it's a pretty toxic subset of humor that encourages. I mean, I don't even know that it's fair to say their Q&A is underfunded, chat, so much as it's just like what you're asking them to do perfectly to never have an issue is like a monumentally impossible task. Like there's so many variables that go into game design. Stevie, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Alright, we should have mulliganed the 2-lander. Also, like, again, the focus is like, how regularly are they gonna adjust things? Like, it's so easy to make small changes to things, chat. Like, moving things' points of toughness up or down single amounts, adjusting mana cost by a single number in either direction. Like, it's really easy to slowly massage a format into a good direction. Each day, thanks for the follow. They said they plan to do it monthly. Is that a quote from? What's that quote from? I have not heard monthly quoted yet. Where are you getting that metric from? Where was that posted? This might be a rummage angle here for the pyre. Hey, E2 Dad, thanks for the brand new sub. This is my full-time gig and I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around. Wow, actually never lucky. You heard Croaky say it on the stream. Secondhand information isn't a source. So if you have a source, I'd appreciate a link.
My spirit blazes like the heat of the dragon. There is no better ally than a dragon.
I agree. The Sarkhan is just another great example of like what you can do with digital nicely that you can't do in paper. You don't deserve to have somebody to play with. Goodbye. Yeah, I agree, Anoma. The fact that they're just even starting to consider having cards that reward you for being on the draw is a good thing. That's a design space they've been needing to push into for a long time, and I hope we see more of it. People talking about things like Paper Mario. Chat, I'm really not a boomer. So many people look at these old video games through these rose-tinted glasses. Chat, most old video games suck. And I'm gonna hurt you. Most of the games you played as children, if we looked at them today through modern game design, we'd be like, why would you make these choices? Like, game design has come a long way in the last 5 to 10 years.
You are beneath my spine.
Let's Chandra. See if we can spike a land.
I knew you
Nailed it.
This'll be easy.
Nostalgia is a heck of a drug. Almost every time someone's like, Jeff, you're gonna love this old game, we like fire it up, and I'm like, man, this is awful. Why would we play this? Yeah, that's true. There was that's actually completely true what Quarthian said there. A ton of early Nintendo games were designed with the same game design mentality of this game needs to eat quarters to be profitable in an arcade. So they made explicit design decisions so their games could eat quarters.
Hang on. Doing something amazing.
Monsters are the key to defending my city.
Man, chat, where are my tokens at? Where are
Now you're
my
playing
tokens
with
at? Sure, or couldn't be beaten in one rental session. Ah, Heroes of Might and Magic. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Wait, this thing has an ultimate.
advance my tactics.
In a way, they're back to that game design with microtransactions in $60 games. I don't think that's true. And so, as someone who like is in the industry, the way you optimize a game for eating quarters and the way you optimize a game for microtransactions is pretty different.
Oh, I'm just getting fired up.
Even Titans obey my commands.
Yeah, that's a good TLDR. To eat quarters, you kill the player over and over again. To maximize microtransactions, you tend to time gate things. Yeah, time gates or loot boxes is how you abuse players with microtransactions.
I am the master here. I've learned much from your death.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
Hey, Hern Cute, thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back.
Monsters are the key to defending my city.
So if I do this, this is 7. And then we can Chandra. And fire up Den of the Bugbear.
You make it to the Inferno.
And we can emblem them.
How disappointing.
No pressure.
Is creature lands plus Lukka lethal there? Yeah, maybe. Creature lands with power to each opponent. Yeah, I think you're right. That's a good catch.
I like your energy.
That's still lethal? I think it's still lethal, right? So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Chandra Emblem kills them. Yeah, this deck's actually kind of sweet as a red control deck. We have like this Lukka way to put bombs into play, but we also just have like a bunch of planeswalkers that draw cards. This looks fine. Needs some mana, but I have Tormenting Voice to kind of shift through stuff. Yeah, it's been a while since a red deck like this one was playable in Standard. Okay, chat. We're gonna frostbite this squirrel so they can't Vraska me this turn. It's too greedy to discard the lands. This in play. Now if they want to eat my Signet with Frasca, we get to kill her on the backswing. I mean, to be fair, you just clearly haven't been paying attention, Coder Chris. The Mastery Pass does give you mythics and rares and booster packs. It's not just
They
cosmetics.
call me a pariah.
It's a mix of
because they
things.
feel my strength.
The thick lad, chat. He's here and he's ready to pippity pop off. Bim, 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 bim.
Leave me be, you escape.
You're not scared of dogs, are you?
So do we just Glorybringer, smash Garrick? It's probably just goblins down tick Lukka, right? Hey, cows! Thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate the half year. Welcome back. Hey, Skoogle! Thanks for 21 months. Welcome back. We just go ahead and shoot the Garrick here to prevent this from embleming.
Iron sacrifices must be made.
I'm gonna go.
We are relentless.
I think we're actually in an okay spot here, though, still, right? So we get to Glorybringer.
Tactics.
This comes into play. Shoot this. Exert. Attack these here. Attack this here. This kills this. This kills this. They take 9.
It seems fortune favors you.
Like, their creatures are huge, but so is our board. If we can spike an untapped land next turn, Terror is lethal, right? Because it would be 5 off of this Terror, and then this would double strike. Sag. Assume Lukka's dying here. Really? Okay. They're playing with fire. Let's see if they get burned, chip. Sedge. All right, 2 mana token producer, please.
You want to go, tough guy? It's playtime.
This isn't worth my time.
Got 82 cards in deck, so pretty far off of getting exiled by this. Needs 4 attacks. They got relatively decent defense here, which is nice. Kind of surprised they didn't play. Oh, Orazca costs. I was saying didn't play Orazca, but she costs 6. So if I terror, they have to block 2 of my things if I attack with both. And then on the backswing, I can block 1 of their things. And I take 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I die to a removal spell if I attack with everything. I die to a removal spell either way, though, right? I guess if I Meteor Golem, I don't die to a removal spell. I could 0 Chandra. Yeah, if we hit, like, a deal 5. That's kind of good.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
This doesn't really do anything, right? I was gonna elect to not play around a removal spell. I might have also been wrong to 0 the Chandra there, because if I plus Chandra 2 turns in a row, the Terror's lethal next turn. Yeah, they get scries at a removal spell here. So, Ichudat, the one thing I'd like to comment on that some, like, people are making a mountain out of a molehill with this whole balance changes impact standard and historic at the same time. Most balance changes for alchemy are just not going to impact historic.
My mission is more valuable
They're not.
than life. I'm sorry. Will you
Is this
use
lethal?
it?
11, 15? Not quite. When push comes to shove, a lot of alchemy cards are not. Wait, are they just dead? I'm so confused. They just left themselves dead on board, right? What is this stack? I feel like the opponent played really well up until that point. Oh, I was dead. Okay, yeah, the opponent would have won that game. I forgot about the treasure. They would have killed us with the treasure on the creature land. Got it. Okay. I wasn't thinking about the treasure. I agree, Ken's right. I think having all your digital formats use the same version of a card is a good idea. There'll be less confusion. And I talked about this yesterday, but a bunch of the same curmudgeons who are complaining Historic and Alchemy are going to use the same versions of digital cards were the same people that a month ago were complaining you couldn't have two versions of the card on Magic Arena at the same time because that would be confusing. So which is it? Do you want them to like have consistency between their formats, or do you want them to like, yeah, like, or was this not okay? And really, it kind of pulls the mask off to show that, like, these people aren't ever actually acting in good faith. They're just looking for something to complain about. They don't actually really believe in the position they're presenting today or the position they presented a month ago. They're just looking to bitch. They just want to be mad. There are people who are caught in a toxic relationship with Magic, and they don't realize they need to take a step back and do something else for a while. So, having cards be the same between formats doesn't mean the experience between those formats is the same, though, Logan. When we're talking about consistency, we're talking about consistency. We're not saying we want the formats to have the same play patterns. We're saying we want you to know that, like, this is what the card does, and it does this in all the formats. No, there aren't really E2 dat. The decks that are going to, like, get hurt in Historic by standard nerfs are gonna be super fringe decks to begin with in the first place. But, like, even Expressive Iteration as a card, like, if Expressive Iteration gets nerfed, like, Expressive Iteration isn't a core component to how any decks function. Sure, it makes decks more consistent, but no deck is suddenly rendered unplayable by that card getting weaker.
You and I are gonna take them out.
It's like when Brainstorm went away, right? Like, there's a reason why Jeskai Control stayed what it was until Memory Lapse went away. Brainstorm made it more consistent, but, like, it wasn't the deck's entire identity.
This was a waste of my time.
Honestly, the rebalancing Memory Lapse is really easy. You just make it so Memory Lapse is like Aether Gust and lets you have a choice to put the card on the bottom of your deck. It's so easy. And that's the thing about a lot of these designs, chat. Like, Magic players, and not even just humans, they want to, like, write things off instead of them being fixable. And when it's not just a binary on-off, banned, unbanned, you get so much more important nuance in it, right? I think Omnath will still be powerful. I actually don't know. I feel like they might have over-nerfed Omnath. Like, I'm not certain that Omnath needed, I don't know why Omnath needed to lose the draw and go up a mana. It feels like maybe they were overly conservative with that change. When they did mirror, Omnath still cost 4, right? It was 4 in Scryed 1. I think they should have just taken it from draw to scry and left it at 4. But yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like if they see Omnath doesn't see any play, they could put it back to 4. And again, that's the beauty of digital balance, is it isn't a one and done. You can make multiple passes at this. Someone asked if I've thought of making a podcast. I am here streaming a podcast every day of the week for many, many hours. There's just a visual component here as well that you may or may not have an interest in. We mulligan this. They're playing what's likely an aggressive deck. Burn Down the House sounds nice. Around the play is good. Yeah, Rune Terra frequently rolls back nerfs. And occasionally, and again, formats evolve. So like, sometimes it's correct to nerf something when it gets nerfed, but then the format changes, and then it also makes sense to roll that back later. So it's fine. I don't want a Dragon Fodder because it'll make this bigger. Oh god, this is already gonna get bigger though. We might be dead, fam. This Voice of the Blessed is real good. I completely agree with Steve's point. I think Magic will be a markedly better game if all not even the game, the Magic community will be markedly better off if all of the people that say they're gonna quit Magic because of alchemy actually fucking do it and quit. Go do something else. If you are so mad that they're introducing a digital only format that you feel like you need to quit, you are probably not a positive force in the community. And for the record, just for clarity's sake, because little shit gremlins on the internet will take a comment like that and twist it out of context, I am not saying you need to like alchemy. What I am, however, saying is that if your response to the idea of alchemy is so visceral that you feel like you need to quit the game in its entirety instead of just ignoring alchemy, your mental and positioning around Magic is not in a healthy spot. So I am not simply saying every Magic player needs to like alchemy. What I am, however, saying is if you don't like alchemy and you don't feel the ability to just ignore it, you need to take a step back and have some introspection into why you can't just ignore it. We just Dragon Fodder into this, then we can Lukka and start flipping some dorks into play next turn. I'm gonna trade this off. It might be right to use this other one. Does it gain 4 even here too? No one else can have fun unless they have fun the way I say they should. Yeah, basically. I believe Aliandrazi has the spoilers for today. Yeah, I think part of the bitterness is that to come eat pizza. I think there's definitely a source of bitterness of some of the people who are doing the loudest complaining are people that don't actually spend money on the product, so they probably know that their complaining is largely going to go unheard because they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. There will basically always be more free-to-play players. Sayat, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Our best draw is a 2 or 3 mana token producer next turn, so we can do this into downtick Lukka. So I'm leaving Lukka at 2 here. Hey, that'll do, pig. That'll do, pig.
My crusade isn't over yet.
Wow, I'm really surprised they conceded there. I felt like this game was pretty close. Like I'm at 8. All right, let's shift gears, huh? What else do I play? Let's give a quick wrap on this. I was pretty happy with this. Like it was pretty reasonable, all things considered. I like where we ended up at. I like that this deck felt very different than your typical mono red deck. Allowed us to have this kind of bigger plan and be a little bit more grindy instead of just smashing people. So that was pleasant. I like what we were doing. Bowser Steen, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back.